In law, a verdict is the formal finding of fact made by a jury on matters or questions submitted to the jury by a judge. Etymology: the term verdict, from the Latin veredictum, literally means to say the truth, and is derived from Middle English verdit, from Anglo-Norman, a compound of ver and dit. Criminal law. In a criminal case, the verdict, which may be either not guilty or guilty, except in Scotland where the verdict of not proven is also available, is handed down by the jury. Different counts in the same case may have different verdicts. A verdict of guilty in a criminal case is generally followed by a judgment of conviction rendered by a judge, which in turn be followed by sentencing. In U.S. legal nomenclature, the verdict is the finding of the jury on the questions of fact submitted to it. Once the court receives the verdict, the judge enters judgment on the verdict. The judgment of the court is the final order in the case. If the defendant is found guilty, he can choose to appeal the case to the local court of appeals. Compromise verdict. A compromise verdict is a verdict which is reached only by the surrender of conscientious convictions upon one material issue by some jurors in return for a relinquishment by others of the like settled opinion upon another issue, and the result is one which does not command the approval of the whole panel, and as such is not permitted. General verdict. A general verdict is one in which the jury makes a complete finding and single conclusion on all issues presented to it. First, the jury finds the facts, as proved by the evidence, then it applies the law as instructed by the court, and finally it returns a verdict in one conclusion that settles the case. Such verdict is reported as follows: we, the jury, find the issues for the plaintiff and assess his damages at $100,000. Note that the above does not include any mention of jury nullification, a right of jurors. Sealed verdict. A sealed verdict is a verdict put into a sealed envelope when there is a delay in announcing the result, such as waiting for the judge, the parties and the attorneys to come back to court. The verdict is kept in the sealed envelope until court reconvenes and then handed to the judge. Special verdict. In English law, a special verdict is a verdict by a jury that pronounces on the facts of the case but does not draw the ultimate inference of whether the accused is guilty or not. The judge then applies the law and to convict or acquit. In the words of William Blackstone, the jury state the naked facts, as they find them to be proved, and pray the advice of the court thereon. The judge forced a special verdict in the famous case of R.V. Dudley and Stevens, but generally such verdicts should only be returned in the most exceptional cases.